Good morning, everyone. Brian Hoops here, Midwest Market Solutions. This is our Market Insider TV and our opening commentary on Friday morning, August the 22nd. Hope you had a great evening. Looking forward to today's trade activity. We're going to get things started here with RFD TV this morning, 8:15 Central Time. We'll be talking about markets and how we're going to trade, or how we think we're going to trade, in about 30 minutes from now. So we'll be doing this recording and then getting ready for TV shortly thereafter. Of course, 8 o'clock, if the USDA office opens, has any private export sale announcements, we'll be sending them out on text and Twitter feed as well. Overnight markets, dollars basically unchanged overnight. Natural gas slipping again. While crude oil extends its rally from yesterday, we talked about this as a potential breakout candidate in our closing TV segments. Stock market is firmer here in the overnight markets. We've had a little bit of a correction this week, and now we're seeing some strength into the weekend. Corn down a quarter, while beans were up 3.5, knocking on the door of 1060. We get into the 1070, 1080 range. We're going to see some, I think, more selling from the producers out there. And wheat is down just a penny. We did have a light trade in wheat yesterday at higher money, giving back some of that today. And we'll talk about why here in just a second. I have a good reasoning why I think we're going to see wheat struggle to see much in the way of any gains. So our website address is MidwestMarketSolutions.com. Our Twitter feed, Midwest Markets, Brian Hoops. And go to our website. You can sign up for our text message service that we were referring to. That'll get you market information sent directly to your cell phone. All right. Weather-wise, 7 days, a little bit wetter conditions for that winter wheat belt. That's going to be conducive for the beginnings of the winter wheat seedings. That's going to keep some pressure against the wheat market. Even though corn and soybeans have had a pretty good rally this week, the wheat has gone virtually nowhere, and a big part of that is this wet conditions for the winter wheat belt in the forecast coming up here through the weekend into early part of next week. The weather for the rest of the Corn Belt doesn't look too bad for finishing this crop out. Maybe a little drier than desired in some areas, but no excessive heat that could really hurt or curtail these corn and soybean yields. But it is a little bit drier than desired, and that will take the top end of that yield off. Pro Farmer Tour is pretty much wrapped up. They just have to release their findings this afternoon. In Minnesota, corn yields about 203 bushels per acre, and soybeans have a big pod counts there, but even bigger in Iowa. The pod counts are much larger in Iowa, but the corn yield not quite as large as Minnesota. USDA is much, much higher as far as Iowa corn yields than what the Pro Farmer Tour is. And I think that's pretty much the common theme this week is USDA much higher than what the Pro Farmer Tour has uncovered, although they do uncover a record type large crop. Final tour results come out at 1:30 Central Time today. I believe they will make the announcement, and a lot of the trade will be closely watching, see what their final yields are going to be, but I would assume they're going to say record yields for what Pro Farmer has found, but a far cry from the USDA number. September grain options expire today, and we've noted the 380 and 1010 strikes on corn and soybeans have the most open interest. That should be pretty safe, especially after yesterday's rally, that we would expire above those levels. Cattle on feed report comes out this afternoon, as well as the monthly cold storage report. They both come out 2 o'clock Central Time today. A Bloomberg survey calls for on-feed supplies at 98.1%, placements at 91%. That's the key right there, keeping cattle out of the feedlots and keeping supplies very, very tight. Markings at 94.2%. Overall, it looks to be a very friendly report. We did have a little bit of cash cattle trade on Wednesday, Thursday of this week. 245 live, 385 dressed, steady to $1 better than a week ago. And no cash trade yet in the Southern Plains, particularly Texas, which didn't trade much of any cattle last week. We've seen virtually no trade yet this week. So we'll see if we get to some cash market movement or if we hold cattle over for another week, looking at maybe possibly higher prices going into the final week of August. All right, everyone. Brian Hoops here for Midwest Markets. Good luck and good trading today. This has been Brian Hoops. We'll talk to you again very soon.